like and subscribe. Now let's get to it. War is never funny. But when you look underneath what is going on in Israel, you have to stop and giggle. Let me tell you what's going on in Israel. Israel funded Hamas. The reason they funded Hamas and probably created them was to have a reason to attack the Palestinian civilians. They needed an army to fight back, to legitimize the genocide of the Palestinian people. That rhymed, I like that. They needed an enemy to legitimize the genocide being committed on the Palestinian people. So Netanyahu funded Hamas. But see, he was never attacking Hamas. He was attacking civilians and blowing up buildings, pretending to be after Hamas. But he didn't realize how I don't want to say competitive, but how passionate Hamas was in defending the people of Palestine. And after all, Hamas are Palestinian citizens. So now he's in a war with Hamas, and they have all these tunnels that he didn't know about, at least not to the extent of the tunnel network. So he created this monster that he can't handle. They have driven the IDF, Israel Defense Forces, out of Gaza in some areas. And if anybody needed to cease fire, it was Israel to regroup. Okay, so that's one stupid thing they did. Now, the second stupid thing they did, they are, instead of going after Hamas, they were going after who? The civilians, as we know. So they were blowing up buildings. Okay, and the buildings did what? They left a lot of rubble on the ground. So now the tanks can't get through the rubble. They can't drive over the rubble. So what is Hamas doing with these buildings? They are using these buildings for sniper fire. And they're using handheld rocket launchers with double warheads on them to blow up tanks and things from a high altitude. Perfect. So first of all, Netanyahu helped to create Hamas and funded them so that he can do what? Delete Palestinian citizens. Okay? And in deleting Palestinian citizens, he wasn't going after Hamas. He was destroying their homes and those buildings. Those buildings, partially destroyed, left rubble on the ground, so those $5 and $6 million tanks can't get through. So now they need bulldozers to clear the rubble. But Hamas is using double-headed warheads to take out the tanks and the bulldozers that Israelis are trying to use to go down the street. And they are using $3,000 and $4,000 rocket launchers to destroy $5 and $6 million tanks. Israel is getting beat the slop out of. They're losing tanks and they're losing the financial cost of the war. Now here is a big kicker. You're going to love this. Now who is the country supplying Israel with most of its weapons and bombs. You guessed it, it's the United States. But there's a problem. Not all of the bombs are going off. Some of these bombs weigh 1,000 and 2,000 pounds. Okay? And they're not going off. So what is Hamas doing? Hamas is going out, coming out of the tunnel, and they're taking these 1,000 and 2,000 pound bombs that don't go off, and they're making warheads out of those 1,000 and 2,000 pound bombs. Now, how many warheads can you get out of a 1,000 to 2,000 pound bomb? You can make hundreds and hundreds of warheads into the thousands of warheads off of 1,000 or 2,000 pound bomb that does not go off. So in essence, Netanyahu started out funding Hamas. He's built the perfect cover for Hamas snipers and for them to use warheads and run out the buildings and then run back down their tunnels. Then he's also giving them, courtesy of the United States, material to make explosives to make bombs. So they have they have the production capacity to make the warheads themselves. All they needed was the explosive material, and that's being given to them courtesy of the United States and those dysfunctional bombs that aren't going off. It's almost like Israel is fighting itself. But see, the problem is this. Israel was never going after Hamas. They were going after the civilians. And to this day, they are still doing the same stupid thing. Bombing buildings. All they can do is bomb buildings, because if they get out, the tanks are being destroyed, the soldiers are being picked off by sniper fire, and some are being destroyed by the rocket launchers. And this, is insane. What's going on in Israel is insane, and they're paying for it. Yes, Palestinians are losing lives, but they are not losing fighters. Israel is losing fighters. And now Netanyahu said, well, after 100 days, we're going to let the United States take over. What is he talking about? So the only thing he is saying is, that we done lost so many men, we need more men. And so if the United States sends military troops to Israel, they're going to be stuck in the same situation. You can't walk down the street because, like I've said in previous video, this is the same guerrilla warfare the United States lost in Vietnam. Tunnels. Tunnels defeat tanks. Because all you need is a rocket launcher. And then your troops have no backup. And not only that, they can suck you in. They can let you come in so far and then come up out of a tunnel behind you. Guess what? You don't need to read Sun Tzu, The Art of Warfare, to see this ignorance going on. And I read Art of Warfare, and I'm going to tell you this. What did guerrilla warfare wasn't even going on then, but just knowing, understanding the tangibles, the intangibles. Reading Art of Warfare, you can think from the known to the unknown, and then you know when someone is doing something stupid. and setting themselves up for defeat. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe to get the truth. And I'm going to leave a video from this site called Electonic Intifada to prove my point. And they are going to show you a man with a rocket launcher take out a tank, take out a front end loader, and a sniper taking out the Israeli military person who was in charge of blowing up the hospital. Hey, if you want to stay up on it, like and subscribe. Hey, and share it with a friend. Easy.